My name is Natalie. Most people call me Nat though, if that's any easier for you. Now that we've been acquainted, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. Now, every story has a beginning and an end. Mine hasn't reached the end yet, so I'm gonna start from the beginning because that's the only logical way to tell a story. Anyways, let's get to it. My story begins on August 5th, 2003 at 7:28 a.m. at Montfort Hospital in Ottawa, Ontario. Now, funny enough, I was born the day before my mom's birthday. Kind of stole her thunder, stole the spotlight. But I was born into a very loving and accepting family where both of my parents were very happily married. Now, as soon as I popped out of the womb, I had an advantage coming into the world being Caucasian, being of European descent. I'm literally English, French, Scottish, and Irish. I didn't suffer any discrimination for my race, my skin color. My parents loved me so much, were so open in allowing me to explore the world and speak my own thoughts, make my own decisions, learn and grow. In school, I was a very studious and intelligent student. I always got good grades. I was a victim of bullying, and that really toughened me up. I was the fat kid. Even in kindergarten, I was the tallest girl in the class. In fact, I was taller than probably most of the boys, and I grew into my body a lot quicker than others did, and so that made me really insecure and just made fitting in a lot more difficult, and that's a pretty harsh reality for a 6th grader. Now, I remember this one talent show, and I think this was like a pivotal moment for me. It was me and my friend. She sang most of the song. I had my few select lines. I was the background dancer. That was my main job. For those few moments, it felt magical. It's almost like, you know, a switch went off in my brain. I was like, oh my god, this is what I want to do. No more background dancing. I want to be the main act. And so I think that was the moment where I really decided that I wanted to pursue music. Going into 7th and 8th grade, I was known as the girl who could sing. That was my thing. That was my title. I was no longer the fat girl or the overweight kid. I was the girl who could sing. That's what allowed me to integrate myself into a society where I felt comfortable in. It was an identity that I was proud to assume, that I was proud to have. Going into high school, I was in a choir, I was in band. I did everything from A to Z. It was in high school, specifically 11th grade, where I acknowledge a disadvantage that I never thought to be a disadvantage. I was born a female. The social construct between gender has evolved but isn't completely resolved, and so there are some not so fun aspects about being a woman, especially being a woman in music. I realized that if I wanted to make it in the industry, I really had to speak up, use my voice. I suffered from generalized anxiety most of my life. Over the pandemic, things got a lot worse. I got diagnosed with social anxiety, and as a musician, like I said, on stages where I felt most at home, being scared to even go to a grocery store was completely new to me. But nonetheless, isolation brought me so much more than that. I actually learned so much more about myself. I learned that I was bisexual. That's also something that it puts me in a disadvantage in the world. Now, not everyone is fully accepting or open-minded about the fact that I'm bisexual or that the people in the LGBTQ+ community are who they are. I guess that doesn't stop us from living. It does set us back, and we do have to work harder. Others tend not to understand. People tend to forget that there are underprivileged people who need to fight a little harder, yell a little louder to be heard. Now I'm at university. Things are stressful. Things are messy. COVID is still a thing. I cook my own meals. I do everything for myself, which is something I was never used to, because when I was at home, everything was handed to me. I was lucky, and I count myself lucky every day that my parents were there, that my brother was there, and that they were so supportive, and that they invested so much time and money in everything that I did. I have been working so hard my entire life. My mental health placed an obstacle in front of me. My gender also did. My sexuality did as well. It's a pretty corrupt and crazy world that we live in, and I count myself lucky every day that I get to live the life that I live. But there is such a thing as being considerate that other people might not have it as easy as you do. And so my positionality puts me at a great advantage of life. My path is paved to success. All that to be said that I, Nathalie Burden, am a daughter, a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a mentor, I'm a student, I'm me. I'm an 18-year-old Caucasian bisexual woman, and I am so proud. That's the end of it. Thank you for listening to my story, and I cannot wait to hear about yours. Mwah!